Yes, good afternoon everyone. Kindly open cam. Open cam please. Bakit naman yung mga forehead yung pinapakita nyo? Yung mukha nyo. Ano ba naman yan? Okay. Gusto naman kayo?
Okay naman po. Oh, sir.
Okay, so let's resume with our subject matter. Allow me to share my screen. So we were able to discuss all the necessary topics.
When a member of the U.S. intelligence...
Nope, not that. Not this one. So last meeting, we were able to discuss all the necessary concepts of criminal investigation. So at this time point, we will be discussing police intelligence. Ayun, ito. Because in the old curriculum, police intelligence is separated from criminal investigation. But for your curriculum, the new curriculum, they merged criminal investigation with police intelligence. Can you see my screen, ladies and gentlemen?
Sir, yes.
Yes po.
Okay. Can you hear me loud and clear?
Sir, yes, sir.
Ay, nantok naman kayo. So our topic for this day onward is police.
They stand in ocean.
That's when Crixus was swept from the shores of Pacific.
They but offer opportunity to swim in a sea of Roman blood.
Intelligence operations, cycle of intelligence operations, information, cover and undercover, some Q&A.
Great and unfortunate things.
We will not be dealing with that. We'll do it on your quiz.
What meaning do words
Talking
carry?
about surveillance casing and
A warning.
cryptography. So let's start without so much ado. We have here the biblical setting. So the earliest recorded instances of intelligence fathering can be found in the Holy Bible, in the book of Numbers, chapter 13, verse 17, where God said, and Moses, where it says, Moses sent them to spy out the land of Canaan, and said unto them, Get you up this way southward, patimog, and go up into the mountain for the purpose of, yan, to see the lands and describe what it is. To describe the people that dwell therein, whether they are strong or weak, few or many. So, malakas ba o mahina yung mga naroon sa timog, marami or kokonti. Describe the land they dwelt in, whether in tents or in strongholds. Naka-tents lang ba sila or naka-concrete structures? And describe the land whether it be fat or lean, mountainous or plains, whether there be wood therein or none. May mga kahoy ba? May mga forestry ba? O wala? And, oops, and be of good courage and bring the fruit of the land. So that is the instruction of Moses to his spy. Spy that land and bring the fruit of that land. So the scriptures also name the 12 intelligence agents whom the Lord directed Moses to send into the land of Canaan and record that all those men were heads of the children of Israel. So all of the spies before, during that time, were heads or were children of the heads of Israel. So these were the 12 agents sent by Moses to spy Canaan. We have Shamawa, the son of Zakur, tribe of Reuben; Shaphat, the son of Hori, tribe of Simeon; Caleb, the son of Jephunneh, tribe of Judah; Igal, the son of Joseph, tribe of Issachar; Hoshea, the son of Nun, tribe of Ephraim; Palti, the son of Raphu, tribe of Benjamin; Gadiel, son of Sodi, tribe of Zebulun; Gadi, the son of Susi, tribe of Joseph, that is from the tribe of Manasseh. Kasi maraming Joseph noon. Amiel, son of Gemali, tribe of Dan; Setur, son of Michael, tribe of Asher; Nabi, son of Bopshi, from the tribe of Naphtali; and Guel, the son of Machi, from the tribe of Gad. So those are the 12 men who were sent by Moses to spy Canaan. And biblically, we have the first lady spy, Rahab, the harlot of Jericho. This is taken from the book of Joshua, chapter 2, verses 1 to 21. Rahab sheltered and concealed the agents of Israel. So she hid the agents of Israel and made a covenant with the agents and duped the pursuers of the Israel agents. So tinulungan niyang itinago yung mga Israel agents and tumulong pa siya para mahuli ng mga Israel agents yung pursuers niya. She was not only an impromptu confederate of immense value for Jewish leader of that far distant day, but also established a plot pattern which is still of periodic relief to motion pictures producers. So that is your first lady agent, Rahab. When we say impromptu confederate, she was not trained, but she became an agent because of a certain need of that Israelites, diba? So hindi siya trained. We have here the second lady, Delilah, the story of Samson and Delilah. So we know for a fact that Samson is the strongest man in the Bible who was defrauded, deceived by Delilah. Delilah is the Philistine. Delilah, the story of Delilah. The Philistine used her when she allowed Philistine spies to hide in her house. That is from the Judges 16. Delilah was an impromptu intelligence officer. So nagkataon lang na nangailangan yung mga Philistine ng agent, kaya siya naging intelligence agent. So, she was not trained also. And apart from her tonsorial specialty, she also allowed sex to gain intelligence from a powerful enemy. So a lot of intelligence agents from different countries use women to acquire intelligence. Diba? Have you read the movie, ano bang pamagat nun? A group of lady being trained to spy. Red something, red. Nakalimutan ko na. Basta yun. Red. Basta ang kwento niya is they train ladies to become intelligence agents. She achieved the largest effective force of her employer's adversaries and contriving the stroke which put that force out of action. So, natalo nga ni Delilah si Samson, the strongest man. How much more weaker men. And this only proves that women are the weakness of men, di ba? So, si Samson yung pinakamalakas na tao noon. And one time, she met Delilah. Tapos, nalasing ni Delilah si Samson. And because of that, nasabi ni Samson yung source ng strength niya to Delilah, which is his hair. So, nung nakatulog si Samson, ginupit ni Delilah yung kanyang hair, and guess what happened next? It follows now the downfall of Samson. So we have here important events and personalities in the world of intelligence. We have here your favorite, Sun Tzu. He is a Chinese philosopher, creator, or the author of the book The Art of War. Information must be obtained from men who knew the enemy situation. That's according to Sun Tzu. So, information must be coming from the field agents deployed on the field, not on the office. Yan, for accurate intelligence report. And intelligence report are very necessary in planning of an operation. So we have here the saying of Sun Tzu, the famous saying of Sun Tzu, which states that if you know thy enemy and you know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. So kung kilala mo sarili mo and kilala mo yung kalaban mo, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. You will win. You will succeed. But if you know yourself, kilala mo yung sarili mo, and not your enemy, pero hindi mo kilala yung sarili mo, for every victory, you will suffer defeat. So kung manalo ka man, meron kang pagkatalo. So manalo ka man sa gera na yon, so ano yung pagkatalo mo? Pwedeng you have, nalagasan ka ng maraming sundalo. Or aside from that, pwedeng nanalo ka sa isang gera, pero natalo ka sa gera sa ibang mga lupain nyo, mga ganyan. O pwedeng nanalo ka dyan sa specific na gera, pero namatayan ka ng friends, relatives, neighbors. That's what happened if you know yourself but you don't know the enemy. And this is now the worst. If you know neither yourself nor the enemy, you are a fool who will meet defeat in every battle. So, hindi mo na nga kilala yung sarili mo, hindi mo pa kilala yung kalaban mo, sasabak ka ngayon sa gera, na what do you think would happen? It's suicidal, di ba? In every battle, you will suffer defeat. So that saying is not only applicable during war, but you can also apply it in your daily life, especially in your subject, in your studies, di ba? if you know yourself and if you know your subject well, then if you have prepared for it, you know that you have prepared for the quizzes, the examination of that subject, then you need not worry or fear the result of 100 quizzes, examinations, and board exam. Kasi napaghandaan mo nga, and kilalang kilala mo yung sarili mo, alam mo yung mga strengths and weaknesses mo. Napaghandaan mo rin yung mga weaknesses mo. Ayan. Pero kung kilala mo yung sarili mo, pero hindi mo alam yung subject mo, hindi ka nakapag-prepare sa subject mo, sasabak ka sa exam, sugal yun. Pwedeng manalo ka, or pwedeng matalo. Worse naman yung hindi mo na nga alam sarili mo, tapos hindi mo pa napaghandaan yung subject mo, hindi ka pa nakapag-review, talagang babagsak ka talaga niyan, di ba? So next, we have here Alexander the Great. He utilized the phalanx formation in defeating his enemies. Kung wala pa kayong CDI, hindi CDI, Civil Disturbance Management, CDM, yun. So wala pa kayong CDM, maaaring hindi nyo pa alam tong phalanx formation na to. Pero pagka may CDM na kayong subject, napag-aralan nyo na rin to, CDM. This is the formation from which our CDM formation was derived from. Yan. So, phalanx formation. Kung napanood nyo yung Romans 300, in-apply ng mga Romans itong phalanx formation na to. Yung naka-linya, yung mga armies, yung mga sundalo, 16 by 16 yung phalanx formation. Pero in Romans, ewan ko lang kung ilan yung measurement niya. Pero ganun yung idea ng phalanx. Wherein the first layer of armies, meron lahat silang shield. Tapos meron din silang hawak na spears. Tapos second layer, ganun din. Third layer, ganun din. Tapos sa mga latter layers, sa mga huling layers, mga archers. Yan yung phalanx formation. Alexander the Great conquered the whole known world during his time. So, nasakop niya yung buong mundo during his time. Now, we need not watch that kasi yan yung yung plinay ko tapos biglang nagka-copyright. So, we need not watch that video shortly. So, this is the cause of Alexander the Great's downfall. When he was marching to Asia, rumors of disaffection were growing among his allies and mercenaries. So, lumakas yung chismis na hindi na magkaayos si Alexander the Great and some of his allies. Ayan. So, pagka alam niyo naman ang mangyayari, pagka nasira ang unity ng isang team, mabubuwag yan, di ba? Pag nabuwag, talo na. So, Alexander the Great also devised the first letter sorting and opening to obtain information. So, when we say letter sorting, inaayos niya yung letter alphabetically. Pwede yan, letter sorting. And opening to obtain information. So, he opens all information, all letters coming in and out from his country. Kahit hindi sa kanya naka-address yan, binabasa niya. So, he is also known as the father of censorship. So, when you say censorship, parang may barricade yan. When you say censorship, ang idea niyan is other neighboring countries or persons from neighboring countries are not allowed to enter their country. And same is true with the citizen of Alexander's country. Bawal din silang lumabas. Yan ang ibig niyang sabihin, censorship. And isa rin dito is the products. Yung product ng mga other countries ay hindi bawal pumasok. Bawal pumasok yung product ng other countries into the country of Alexander the Great. And same is true to the country of Alexander the Great. Yung mga products nila, bawal din nilang iluwas kasi baka gamitin ng mga kalaban against them. So, lahat ng product nila is specifically for them only. Next is Quintus Sertorius, a Roman commander in Spain who possessed a white fawn. When you say white fawn, these are young deer, mga batang deer, and allowed it to become widely known that he derived secrets and guidance from the fawn. So, these intelligence agents credited their information to the supernatural power of animals. So, yung fawn ang source ng intelligence information ni Quintus Sertorius. And studying this is not, this is believable. Kasi right now, although not fawn, we also have canines and dove, di ba? Yung mga dove. Pagka after bagyo, meron tayong mga pinapalipad na dove. Tapos to survey the area kung may bagyo pa kaya o wala. Ayan. Sa canine naman, sa mga canine dogs naman, meron din tayong mga dogs na train to gather information. What sort of information? Yan, to detect explosives. Yan. Meron tayong canine na nagde-detect ng explosives. Meron din tayong canine na nagde-detect ng illegal drugs, marijuana and shabu. And meron din tayong canine dogs to track missing person. So, meron din silang nagtatrack ng nawawalang tao. So, ang ginagawa is ipapaamoy lang yung mga damit, yung mga properties, personal belonging ng missing person, ipapaamoy sa aso, tapos ngayon, aamuin ng aso kung saan ba nanggagaling yung amoy ng property na yon hanggang sa matuntun nila yung missing person. So, intelligence are coming from the supernatural power of animals. So, that is your found. And this sculpture of Sertorius with his found. Next is Akbar, Abdul Fath Jalal Uddin Muhammad Akbar. So he was known to be the sagacious master of Hindustan. He employed more than 4,000 agents for the sole purpose of bringing him the truth that his throne might rest upon. Yan. So he employed 4,000 agents, intelligence agents. So we have here the map of the Mughal Empire of Akbar. In 1530, yan, if you can see the yellow border, that is the territory of your Mughal Empire led by Akbar. And in 1605, see how it expanded. So may mga nasakop silang territories. So from here to here. And the death of Akbar in 1605, after that, follows the reign of Aurangzeb. And until 1707, they were able to conquer this portion of territory from here to here, up to the death of Aurangzeb. Next to Akbar is Genghis Khan. We also have a documentation or a film, the story of Genghis Khan. He is known to be the great Mongol. He used intelligence to conquer China and invade Cathay. So he conquered China and invaded Cathay. He instructed his generals to send out spies and use prisoners as sources of information. So whenever na meron silang inaatake na territory, Pagka natalo nila yon, syempre nasakop na nila yung territory, and all the other uh, prisoners, yung mga nasakop nila, ginagawa nilang prisoners. And these prisoners now serves as the sources of information. In what way? Siyempre, pwedeng through torture. Sabihin mo yung tamang daan para masakop pa namin yung neighboring territory. So, yan yung mga strategy nila. So, Genghis Khan is the leader of the so-called Mongol conquerors. He made use of effective propaganda machine by spreading rumors of Mongol terror. So, ini-spread nilang nakakatakot sila. So, from that terror alone, syempre lahat na nakakarinig ng pangalan nila is matatakot na rin. So, they become allies rather than efforting on having a war against Genghis Khan. So, they collected information on weaknesses and rivalries of Europe. So, Genghis Khan. And this is how Genghis Khan expanded their territory. So, from here, move to Korea, yan, China, Samarkand, and almost Russia, Bulgaria, Georgia. Ayan. So, this is how they expanded their territory. And it ended on 1297. Ah, 94 pala. Yan. We have here Sir Francis Walsingham. Under Queen Elizabeth, Walsingham organized the first National Intelligence Service. So he organized intelligence service. He employed spies on the staff of the admiral in command of the Spanish army and able to obtain information regarding the Spanish army as to their ships, equipment, forces, and stores. So because of his intelligence service, Walsingham was able to acquire information about the ships of their enemy, Spaniards, di ba? Kung ilan ba ang ships nila, kung ano yung mga equipments ng kanilang kalaban, kung gaano kalakas yung forces niya, kung gaano sila kadami, and their stock rooms or storage, kung gaano ba karami, and kung ano yung mga supply nila. And during his period, he protected Queen Elizabeth I from countless assassins. So there had been lots of efforts by the lawless elements to assassinate Queen Elizabeth, which was unplatted by Walsingham. So he was able to protect Queen Elizabeth I. He became the father of modern espionage. So what is espionage? Spy. Espionage is the thief of information. Yan. So, yung pagnanakaw ng mga napaka-importanteng information. Yan. Espionage. Spy. Walsingham zealously worked to quell Catholic machinations that threatened to subvert Protestant England and was instrumental in exposing conspiracy to murder Queen Elizabeth I and place the Catholic Mary, Queen of Scots, on the throne. So yan, na-unplot niya yung plano to assassinate Queen Elizabeth. Tapos ang ipapalit sana nila pagka napatay nila si Queen Elizabeth is Catholic Mary. of Scotland. We also have here Cardinal Richelieu. So he introduced the network of covert collectors who transmitted prompt and accurate information to Paris regarding the activities of the rebels and dissidents of the kingdom. So how does this work? There had been rebels in the kingdom. Diba? Alam, may mga rebelde. So in our modern period nowadays, ano ba yung rebelde ng Pilipinas din? We have your NPA, di ba? So this Cardinal Richelieu made use of the collectors as covert agents or sources of information. So, meron yung mga tax collector, habang nangongolekta ng mga taxes, they observe locations and details of rebels. Yan. Covertly. So, when we say covertly, in secret. Walang ibang nakakalam, sila lang. Tapos, after they have observed that, they report the information to Cardinal Richelieu for proper action. So, ngayon, kung na-report ni collector, ng collector na, yung mga rebelde, dito ang kampo. Wala silang, kulang yung armas nila. Pwedeng lusubin. So, lulusubin nila. We have here Louis the 14th. Louis the 14th. He introduced the following: the systematized political policy. So, he introduced systematized political policy. Nagkaroon na ng systematic political policy. So, meron ng number ang Senate, meron ng Congress. Yan ang sinasabing political policy. Kung every ilang taon ba ang election, those are political policy. Tapos, he also introduced continuous surveillance. When we say continuous surveillance, surveillance is the covert observation of a place, thing, or person. Yan, surveillance. So, they continue to survey their target place or any suspicious place, thing, or suspicious person. Yan. He also introduced postal censorship. So, when we say postal censorship, specific place. Meron tayong tinatawag na postal ID, di ba? And that postal ID is can be acquired in the specific locality from where you are residing. Kumbaga yan din. Ganyan din ang postal censorship. So, when we say postal censorship, pagka dyan ka sa lugar nyo na yan, bawal kang lumabas yan at bawal ding lumabas bawal ding pumasok ang hindi taga dyan sa lugar na yan. Postal censorship. Bawal ding lumabas ang mga communication sa place na yan. So, lahat ng communication dapat within that place lang. Bawal lumabas. Postal censorship. Military Intelligence Organization. So, he introduced Military Intelligence Organization because before, we only have military organization, di ba? So, meron tayong military organization noon. So, ano bang trabaho ng military organization? Nakikidigma. So, naglalakbay, tapos digma. Lakbay, tapos digma. But now, Louis the 14th introduced Military Intelligence Organization. So, meron ng intelligence organization within the scope of the military organization. So, parang naging isang division na, meron ng intelligence division. So, what is the advantage of having intelligence division in a military organization? Of course, all the planning of a military operation will be based or anchored from that intelligence. And most oftenly, all the intelligence-driven operations are successful. So, they end up successful compared with those operations na ikinasa without intelligence gathering. So, yan ang advantage ng intelligence organization. So, we also have here Napoleon Bonaparte. He stated this saying, "One spy in the right place is worth 20,000 men in the field." Tama nga naman to. So, one spy in the right place is worth 20,000 men in the field. So, ang dami-dami mong sundalo sa field. Wala namang intelligence report. Hindi pwedeng maubos lahat yung 20,000 men in the field mo. Pero meron kang one spy in the right place. Tapos, why do you say one spy in the right place? Kasi sila yung mga pwedeng agent na makapasok sa kampo ng kalaban. Yan. At pagka nakapasok yan sa kampo ng kalaban, makukuha niya lahat ng necessary information ng kalaban, alam niya yung mga weaknesses ng mga kalaban, yung mga weak points ng mga kalaban, yung mga weak places ng mga kalaban, edi mas mapapadali yung pagsakop ni Napoleon Bonaparte in that matter, di ba? So, Napoleon Bonaparte organized two bureaus of interest, the Bureau of Intelligence and the Topographic Bureau. So, of course, this Bureau of Intelligence gathers information about the enemy, and the Topographic Bureau naman, they are the bureau who study the land, the map. Yan. So, minamapping nila yung mga territory plano nilang sakupin. So, the Bureau of Intelligence consolidates all incoming information regarding the enemy for presentation to the Emperor and to obtain information as desired, while the Topographic Bureau maintains a large map which covers the latest information regarding both the enemy and friendly forces. So, yun pang isa pala. From the map, they point out the bases of the enemy and the bases of friendly forces or allies. Napoleon Bonaparte maintained military intelligence and secret political police service all over Europe. His main arm was spy against spy concept. So, if they suspect a spy of the other country na pumasok sa teritoryo niya, they will spy that spy. We also have here Frederick the Great. He is the father of organized military espionage. So magkaiba yung father of espionage sa father of military espionage. Magkaiba yan, ha? So Frederick the Great divided his agents into 4 classes. We have the first class, the common spies. These are recruited among the poor folk, glad to earn a small sum or to accommodate as military officers. So these are your common spies from the poor folk. We also have the double spies. These are unreliable renegades, chiefly involved in spreading false information to the enemy. So kaya siya double spy because they apply as agent or intelligence agent of the enemy, but they give false information to the enemy. So if you give false information to the enemy, what will happen next? Of course, you may now ambush the enemy if they rely their planning or operation, military operation, on that false information. Diba? Pag nagplano sila base sa false na information, talo na sila. So, ang sinabi, dito yung weak point. Dito ang weak point nila. Madali tayong mananalo pagka dito tayo dumaan. False information pala, doon kayo lahat dumaan. Kayo ngayon yung na-ambush. Yan. Double spies. We also have the spies of consequences. They are couriers and noblemen, staff officers, and kindred conspirators requiring a substantial bribe or bait. So yan yung spies of consequences. So they are spies of the enemy country, but they can give information about their country in exchange of rewards. So meron siyang reward, merong kabayaran. Bribery and corruption. Yun nga eh. And the last one is persons who were forced to undertake espionage against their will. Especially kung meron din silang prisoner of war, di ba? Walang magagawa ang prisoner of war. They are forced to undertake espionage against their own will. Why? Kaysa mamatay sila, di ba? Buhay mo or mamatay ka. Do this or else you'll die. Do this or else your family will die. Do this or else your relatives will suffer the consequences. We also have here Hannibal. He is considered one of the brilliant military strategists in the history of military intelligence. He developed an effective intelligence system for 15 years in Rome. He usually roamed around the city, often disguised himself as a beggar, to gather first-hand information. So this is Hannibal's strategy. He dressed himself as a beggar, roaming around the city and gather first-hand information. So, syempre, lahat ng mga spies, ng mga kriminal, hindi magdududa na law enforcer ang beggar. Kaya, okay lang na naririnig ng beggar yung mga pinag-uusapan nila, yung mga plano nila. Di ba? So, you have here Julius Caesar. During his time, the staff of each Roman legion includes 10 speculators or observers who served as an information collecting agency. So the speculators were the first intelligence personnel to appear definitely in a military organization. So the military success of the Romans was aided by communication system. So they made use of carrier pigeons. So bird, di ba? Tinatali nila yung communication sa pigeons, tapos inililipad ni pigeon yung communication from one base to another base. That's how they communicate, which made possible the amazing speed with which intelligence of Imperial Rome was transmitted. They also employed ciphers to ensure secrecy of communications. When we say ciphers, codes in ciphers, these are used to hide the meaning of a of an important message. So only the persons who knows how to decipher that message can read that. Pero kung napunta sa kalaban, tapos hindi alam ng kalaban kung paano mag-decipher, hindi niya maintindihan yan. So useless na nakuha nila o nanakaw nila yung information kasi hindi nila alam i-decipher yung nanakaw nilang information. So this cipher are used to ensure the secrecy of communication. Next is George Washington. Conspirator under oath abounds in the history of every nation. George Washington was Grand Master in intelligence. So what is his contribution? He mobilized the Freemasons of the colonies at the outbreak of the American War of Independence. So he made use of the Freemasons of the colonies at the outbreak of American War of Independence. So he made use the Freemasons of America against America. Next is Karl Schoolmister. So he served as Napoleon's eye. He was Napoleon's military secret. Born on August 5, 1770, he began his career in offensive espionage under a covert role. So when we say offensive espionage, pumapasok siya sa mga base ng kalaban, sa mga kampo ng kalaban at nagnanakaw ng information under a cover role. So means to say, meron siyang cover. When we say cover role, nagpakilala siya bilang ibang tao. So nagpanggap siyang ibang tao. Yan, with cover story. He was able to infiltrate the Austrian general staff. So that is the meaning of infiltration. Yan yung pagpasok sa kampo ng mga kalaban. Infiltration ang tawag doon. Infiltrate. Next is Wilhelm Steiber. He incorporated intelligence in the General Staff Support System, further devised military censorship, and organized military propaganda. So he organized military censorship. He introduced military censorship and organized military propaganda, and works as a census taker and developed informal gathering of data. So what is the purpose of census? Ano ba yung purpose ng census? Census was used to gather the strength or population of a certain locality. And ngayon, pagkaalam natin yung population ng ating bansa na balak sakupin, we can assess kung kaya natin silang sakupin o hindi. Ay, gaganto lang palang population nila, pwede natin sakupin. So, yan yung strength ng census gathering. Next is Alfred Riedel. He was one of the most brilliant intelligence agents. He became chief of Austro-Hungarian Secret Service. He became a double agent of Russia in 1913. His treason was discovered and he was forced to commit suicide. So, chief Austro-Hungarian siya, pero nagpabayad siya sa Russia. And he gave pertinent information about the Austro-Hungarian to the Russian. But when his treason was discovered, nung na-discover yung pagtra-traidor niya, he was forced to commit suicide. So his treason also led to the death of almost 500,000 agents and soldiers combined in his 13 years espionage episode. So 13 years siyang nagdo-double spy. Caused the loss of life of 500,000 agents and soldiers. Brahma Kautilya, in ancient India, he overthrew the Nandya dynasty and established the first Mauryan king in Indian throne. So he recommended to his king that for the ruler to succeed, the ruler should strike at his enemies' weak points by means of spies. So yan. So sabi ni Kautilya, we shall make use of the spy to gather the weaknesses of our enemy and use that to strike the enemy at their weak points. Yan. So Brahma Kautilya proposes the following means to conquer enemy stronghold. First is intrigues and spies. How does it work? Winning over the enemy's people. So anong gagawin? Pupunta sa balak nilang sakupin na lugar, tapos sisiraan nila yung government. Ay, yung government nyo, ganito. maloko, corrupt. So, after that, syempre makukuha nila yung support ng tao nila doon, yung enemies people. Next is the siege and assault. Before beginning military operation, a conqueror should know the comparative strength and weaknesses of himself and his enemy. This is anchored from the Book of War of Sun Tzu. To know yourself and to know your enemy. And to know the strength and weaknesses of your enemy against your strength and weaknesses. So, yan, siege and assault. No war should be undertaken without careful examination of all factors reported by the king's spies. So, means to say, under Brahma Kautilya, all military operations must be intelligence gathering. There shall be no military operation if there is no intelligence gathering. So, dapat bago mag-operate, bago manakop, dapat may intelligence report muna that were carefully analyzed. Kung walang intelligence, kung walang analyzation, wag munang matake. So, we have the different espionage agencies in intelligence. So, we have the ninja. So, ito yung spy ng Japan. Ninja. The name is derived from the word ninjutsu, the art of making oneself invisible. So, the art of making oneself invisible, ninjutsu. They were drawn from the physical and social cream of samurai youth, reputed to be able to work on water to obtain intelligence while and to appear and disappear at will. So they make use of samurais. And they disappear and appear at will. So we also have here Cabinet Noir of France, the creation of Cardinal Richelieu. This was designed to intercept and analyze correspondence within the French court and between the lesser nobility. It did much to preserve sometimes tenuous security of the throne of King Louis XIII. So this Cabinet Noir was the intelligence agent under the throne of King Louis XIII. We also have here the Oprichnina from Russia, Russia's first political police. This was founded in 1565 by Ivan the Terrible, the first Grand Duke of Moscow, to be crowned Tsar. Yan. "6,000 oprichniki dressed in black, rode black horses, and carried out on their saddles the emblems of a dog's head." So yung logo ng dog head and a broom, symbolizing their mission to sniff out and sweep away treason. So naghahanap sila ng traitor at sinisweep nila. Yan yung trabaho ng Oprichnina of Russia. So we also have the Office of the Naval Intelligence of the United States. They are tasked with collecting and recording such naval intelligence as may be useful to the department in times of war as well as in time of peace. The Office of the Naval Intelligence became the first true government intelligence agency to function in Washington. So this is the first naval intelligence under the first true government to function in Washington. We also have here the Federal Bureau of Investigation, or the FBI, still at United States of America. It was first established in 1908 as an investigative arm of the United States Department of Justice. So when we say investigative arm, they are the one who investigate in behalf of the OJ, and became what is known as the FBI under its first director, John Edgar Hoover, in 1924. So the first FBI director is John Edgar Hoover. And on September 6, 1939, by a presidential directive, it became to its responsibility the task of a domestic intelligence. So now, FBI now, instead of acquiring or investigating crimes, they were also tasked to do domestic intelligence. So, hindi lang sila nag-investigate, nag-gather pa sila ng intelligence domestically within their locality. Next to FBI is your CIA, or the Central Intelligence Agency, created under the U.S. National Security Act of 1947, Public Law 110, established by President Truman in January 1946. The CIA is under the National Security Council. The first director of the agency was Rear Admiral Roscoe Hillenkoetter. So the first Rear Admiral of CIA is Hillenkoetter. We also have the Committee State for Security in Russia, the intelligence agency known as the KGB. So KGB ang tawag niya sa Russia, but in English, Committee for State Security. What does KGB stand for? KGB means Komitet Государственной Безопасности. So Komitet Государственной Безопасности. In English, Committee for State Security. So State Security, Committee for State Security. You also have here the Scotland Yard, or the London Metropolitan Police Force in Britain. It was established by Sir Robert Peel in 1829, which signaled the beginning of a colorful, legendary police force and considered one of the most effective and efficient police in the world. So what is the most efficient police worldwide? Okay, yun ang tanong. The answer is Scotland Yard. So you also have here the Mossad of Israel. So ang tunay niyang pangalan in Israel is Hamossad Lemodin Yulitaf Kedim Meyo Hadim, or in English, Institution for Intelligence and Special Assignment. So Institution for Intelligence and Special Assignment. This is the Israel Intelligence Division. The agency's motto is found in Proverbs 11, verse 14. Where no counsel is, the people fall, but in the multitude of counselors, there is safety. In other words, if we have no counsel, we have no intelligence, the people will fall. But if we have lots of counselors, there is safety. So the people within that community is secured. So Mossad has two branches, namely Aman, or the military intelligence, Israel's defense forces, and the Shabak, the General Security Service, or the internal security. Shabak is from the word Shin Bet, that means a defender who shall not be seen. So Shin Bet means a defender who shall not be seen. So when we say internal security, sila yung lumalaban sa mga rebels, local rebels. That is your Shabak. While Aman, on the other hand, is the Israel's defense forces. So sila yung lumalaban sa mga mananakop from other countries. So they are in charge with external security, Aman. And Shabak naman is in charge with our internal security. Just like the military here in the Philippines, di ba? The military in the Philippines is in charge with external security. So ang kalaban nila yung mga mananakop na countries, China and so on. While the unit in charge with internal security is the Philippine National Police, specifically our Special Action Force. So yan naman. So that ends our lecture for this day. We will be resuming with the history of intelligence during the World War next meeting. Thank you very much and good evening.
Thank you, sir.
Okay na, okay na class. Absent pala ako sa next class ko.
Thank you, sir.
Okay na. Thank you, thank you. Kindly end this meeting.
Yes, sir.